not let them just kill my ass? What's the thinking?
I save you.
Yeah, why save me?
You have a strong heart. No fear. But stupid. Ignorant like a child.
What up, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. Mar Sharp, Shoreman Filmworks in the building. And we have another episode of the Everyday Man's Film Reviews for you guys tonight. All right. Tonight we're going to be reviewing the 2009 release of Avatar, starring Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana. I think I'm saying her name right. Zoe Saldana, Sigourney Weaver, what's my man name? Stephen Lang, Giovanni Ribinski, Michelle Rodriguez. You got a lot of actors and actresses in this movie, man. And it's also directed by my man James Cameron. And y'all already know, I love James Cameron movies, man. Y'all know I love me some James Cameron movies, man. Which we're going to end up talking about some more of his movies as we go along with this with this channel. But I'm reviewing this movie because I got plans on seeing the new one that just came out. I think it came out last week. So I got plans of reviewing the new one, and I wanted to watch this one to refresh my memory and go over it and just refresh my memory. Just refresh my memory and just remember what happened inside of the movie and just get acquainted with what was going on with this film. I can't imagine anybody who hasn't seen Avatar, and if you haven't seen this movie, y'all are missing a really good movie. And it's done by James Cameron, as I said, and James Cameron always pumps out some great films, man. So getting to the plot line of the movie, which I don't like to spoil the movie if you didn't see it, but like I said, I can't imagine anybody who hasn't seen this movie. But getting into the plot line of the movie, we start out with Sam Worthington's character, which is Jake Sully, and he's a former Marine who loses his legs. Well, he doesn't lose his legs, but I guess you could say he becomes a paraplegic. So he's a Marine, and he's pretty much going through a down moment in his life, where I think he's in a way he's trying to find out what his purpose for his life is. You see at the beginning of the film, he's kind of just, I want to say he's kind of like almost like a wanderer. He's kind of like a wanderer. He's kind of reminds you a lot of vets that are out here now, that you see a lot of these vets, they out here in the streets, and they kind of really don't have I don't want to say they don't have a purpose in life, but they're trying to find their way. And Sam Worthington's character, well, Jake is trying to find his way, and then he gets the opportunity to join up with this I don't want to say this elite group, but he joins this scientific I guess I could say a scientific group, or he joins this well, he doesn't really join it because his twin brother was a part of this research, this scientific research that they're doing on this planet or planet called Pandora. And his twin brother was a part of it, but his twin brother ends up getting killed. So with his twin brother ends up getting killed, they enlist Jake's help, because their DNA is such a match of what's going on. And what his brother was doing, he can pretty much just slide right on into it. So as we get to it, they go to this planet called Pandora, and going to this planet called Pandora, the corporate facility. I can't remember the name. I think it was the name of the corporate facility, but I can't remember what the name of the corporate facility was. But this corporate facility, let's just say corporation. I ain't gonna call it corporate facility. This corporation is on this planet of Pandora, and they're trying to pretty much learn the land. They're pretty much trying to learn the land and learn the planet and learn the people. And they have recruited Jake to go along on this mission. And once again, you got so many different layers inside of this story of what's going on. I feel like I'm jumping ahead. I'm jumping ahead of stuff, but keeping with the plot. So Jake gets into this. He gets into the project of the Avatar project, where they go into these bodies that's shaped like the native people, and he gets into it. And as he gets into it, he kind of goes into it with the Marine mindset that he's like, okay, I'm here for a mission. I'm here to do what I need to do, and then I'm on my way back. I'm on my way back home, which is I'm on my way back to Earth. So he's pretty much like mission focused. And once he gets into not the project, but once he gets into the mission, so to say, of what he's doing, he starts to discover a whole lot of things that's going on, not only with the planet and what's going on with the people, because he learns about the people, learns about their customs, and learns about their ways, but he starts to discover things about himself. And in a way, I looked at it with him, I looked at it in this movie like he's starting to rediscover his purpose, or he's discovering his real purpose. You know what I mean? So, going through the film, you see that he goes through this transition of just kind of being like this guy who doesn't care about what's going on, and then once he gets involved with the people, and he starts to learn things from one of the native women named Naturi, played by Zoe Saldana, and she takes him on as a apprentice, and as she takes him on as an apprentice, he starts to learn that, okay, it's more to this planet, it's more to these people. Whereas the corporation just wants, they want to inhabit the land, they want to take out the resources and just like kind of like any other greedy corporation. They want to feed off the planet. They want to feed off, well, I don't want to say they want to feed off the people. They pretty much want to wipe out the people. But they just want to feed off the planet and take all the natural resources and use it for greed, use it for money, and use it for profit. So with Jake being involved with with the native people and being involved on this planet, it opens up something inside of him where he just sees like, okay, there's more to this planet than what meets the eye. You know what I mean? And there's one thing that Naturi always tells him as she's getting him to learn about certain things, and they always say these things like, I see you. Not just seeing you on the physical perspective, but they seeing the inside of you, seeing your soul and seeing your essence. And that's pretty much what the people on this planet, and it's a name for the people, and I cannot think of the name of the people, man, but it's a name that they have for the people in this movie. And it's one of them things where they're in touch with nature, they're in touch with what's going on around them, they're in touch with the environment, they're in touch with the trees and the ground, and I want to say the earth, but it's not the earth, it's the planet. So they're in touch with the planet and the natural resources and the animals, and respecting life, and just really being in tune with what's going on around them on this planet. And like I said, with Sam Worthington's character, with Jake, he transforms, and you see his transformation inside of the film. And as you see his transformation, you can't help but to get involved. You can't help but to get involved with the story. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm gonna give on the plot right now, because like I said, I want to go deeper into it, but for those who haven't seen it, I want to, kind of just leave it be. And if you haven't discovered this gem, go out there and check it out. And for those who have seen it, then, y'all seen this movie, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. All right. This movie took me a while. I seen this movie back in 2009 when it first came out. And I can't say I liked it when I first saw it, because I liked it because it's a James Cameron movie, but I kind of didn't really see the hype around it, because when it came out, a lot of people was praising this movie, man. I had a young lady that I worked with, her name was Misty, and she passed away a couple of years ago, but she was into movies just like me, and her, we used to always go back and forth about movies we were seeing. And she loved this movie so much. She was just like, oh my God, it was like this, and I liked what was going on here, and I liked what was going on here. And when I first seen it, I was just kind of like, okay, yeah, it was a good movie, but I'm not seeing everything that she saw. And then I went back and watched it. I want to say, because I seen it one time, I seen it in the movies, and then I went back and watched it like, I want to say I went back and watched it like maybe like about a year or two later after it came out in the movie theater. I think, matter of fact, I went back and watched it when it came out on DVD. And when I went back and watched it, I saw it with a different set of eyes, you know, and I was like, okay, well, let me watch this movie again and let me see what Misty is talking about. Well, let me see what I missed. And watching it the second time around, I started seeing all the things that I did miss. And then when I watched it again a couple of days ago, I really saw it with a whole completely different set of eyes when I saw it this time around. You know, just seeing like just the underlying message in there, like underlying messages inside of the film. Just like I said with Jake, you know, in the beginning of the film, he's got this I don't want to say he's got this attitude, but he kind of has this thing about him where he's just like, okay, well, you know, I don't know what I'm doing. You know, I don't know what I'm doing with my life right now. And then when he gets to Pandora and he starts to learn from Neytiri about how to be in touch with nature and how to be in touch with all the things around you, he starts to find his purpose. You know, because at first he starts out, like I say, he starts out on his mission, and he's kind of like an infiltrator. You know, he goes in to get scientific intel, but also you have the Colonel that's played by Stephen Lang. I didn't include him neither. Played by Stephen Lang. He wants Jake to get intel for what they need to do, which is go in and pretty much just, you know, kind of take, you know, get the natural resources out of the planet. So he's playing this infiltrator, and in a lot of ways he didn't expect to go in there and get the knowledge or gain the knowledge that he gets from the native people. And when he goes in there and he gains his knowledge from the native people, it changes him. You know, so as it changes him, you see that, okay, well, you see his transformation. And I like that about this film. I like that about this film, that, you know, it wasn't rushed. You know, a lot of times that you see a lot of these films that's out this day, and granted, the movie came out in 2009, and I'm excited to go see the second one. But this is one of the movies where it's long. It's about 2 hours and 45 minutes. It's long, but the time doesn't drag, you know, because there's something going on each moment of the film. You know, it's moving the story along. And as you see the story moving along, and as the story gets bigger and it develops, you know, you can't help but to be invested in what's going on. You know, you eventually, and I'm not saying Jake was a character that you didn't like, because you did like him, but in a lot of ways, I don't want to say you didn't like him. I think he had a couple. To me, he had a couple moments where he was just kind of like, oh man, that's kind of foul. Like when he was doing the infiltrator mode of just being like, okay, he's going in there to basically gain this intel, and you kind of see like, okay, yeah, he's a little bit, he's got a little fucked up motive because of that. But when you see him change, you know, you go along with him. You know, you go along with him and you start rooting for him. You know what I mean? And you know, I feel like this was a great story, man. And like I always tell y'all, I'm a sucker for a good story, man. This is a great story. It was written and directed by James Cameron. You know what I mean? So the way the story moved and the things that happened inside of this story, you know, like I said, there's so many different layers. There's so many different layers to the movie, you know, with the corporate greed and corporations not really caring for what's going on around them. They're about their bottom line, which is about the dollar, you know, and that's Giovanni Ribisi's character is about. He's just about that bottom line. He just wants to go in there. He wants to extract all the, you know, whatever natural resources that he can get from the planet. And he's like, you know, fuck the planet, fuck the people. You know, I just want to go in here and get what I need to get, and then get on about my business and go on about my life. You know what I mean? So you have that element of the story. Then you have the element of the native people, dealing with the native people and how they turn to the elements, how they turn to the resources that's around them, how they but how they respect life and how they respect everything that's around them. You know, even when Neytiri, when she killed one of the beasts that was attacking Jake, you know, she was like, you know, this is a bad thing. This is not a good thing. He wants to go praise her for saving him. And she's like, yo, this is a bad thing. You know, the creature didn't have to die. Even though it posed a threat to Jake, the creature didn't have to die. You know what I mean? So you look at that and it's like, okay, well, it's kind of teaching you to say, okay, you know, let me start learning how to appreciate a lot of the things that's going on around me. You know what I mean? I think, you know, us as human beings and us as people, we get so bogged down by, you know, the everyday things that's going on around us, you know, between work and other little tasks that we got going on, work and money and jobs and dealing with everyday life, that sometimes you have to just slow down and stop and see what's going on around you and appreciate what's going on around you. You know, appreciate what's going on around you. You know, a lot of times people say, you know, take time, take a walk, you know, look at the trees, you know, feel the air, you know, take in all of this other stuff, you know, and like I said, as human beings, a lot of times with so many things going on in our lives, we don't take time to appreciate none of this stuff, you know. So I think that was another, I ain't gonna say I think, that was another layer of the story, that, you know, appreciate what's going on around you, because, you know, if it's not there, you know, you might just miss it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I said, man, great story, and so many other things going on in this story. You know, a lot of things in this movie gave me not alien vibes, but a lot of the sets, a lot of the sets and a lot of the backgrounds kind of made me reminiscent of what was going on in Aliens, like with the technology, like the big machine that Stephen Lang gets in reminds me of the machine that Sigourney Weaver got in Aliens. You know what I mean? A lot of the space station reminded me of what it looked like in the beginning of Aliens, when they was in the space station before they went out to the planet. So I got a lot of those vibes, you know, and I think a lot of that stuff probably was recycled, because like I said, it was done by James Cameron. So I kind of feel like a lot of those things was kind of recycled, which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing at all. I think it was a good thing, and it aided in the story of giving you that futuristic feel. Same thing with Aliens. Like Aliens came out in what was it, 87? I think 87 or 88. That Aliens came out, and then when you seen all of that stuff that was going on in Aliens, it gave you that futuristic feel. Same thing with this movie. I think this movie takes place in like 2154 or something like that, if I can remember what the year was in one of the logs that Jake was doing. It's set in the future, and you still get that futuristic vibe from the sets and the scenery and what was going on in the film. You know what I mean? So, like I said, man, great story, great acting, man. I think Sam Worthington brought Jake to life. You know what I mean? Because like I said, man, he's not a character that you it's not a character that you hate. You know, you feel for him. You know what I mean? You feel for him, and you want him to be successful. You know, because like the first couple minutes of the movie, you kind of, I don't want to say you pity him and you feel sorry for him, but you empathize, man. You have empathy for him, because you like, okay, here's this man, he's fought for the country. You know, he's lost the use of his legs, and you know, he's just trying to find his way. You know, which a lot of us are like that. A lot of us are kind of lost, and sometimes we don't know where to go or where to find the answers from. And then, you know, you gotta try to do things to try to find your way. You know, in the beginning of the movie, he's lost. He's in bars. You know, he's kind of starting fights, and he gets thrown out of the bar. So you kind of feel for him being this lost individual. And then when he finally kind of gets this, I don't even want to say he gets a second chance. I don't want to say he gets a second chance, because he's, like I say, he's trying to find his way. It's not like he's trying to be redeemed from anything, you know. But when he gets this opportunity, you know, you want him to be successful. You know, he's one of them characters that you want him to be successful, because you see what he's been through. And then also too, you see his transformation. So as you see his transformation, and he's getting better, and he's not getting better, but Yeah, he's getting better. I say that he's getting better, and he's finding out, he's finding out his purpose. You root for him. You root for him, and you want him to just go on and keep on doing his thing. You know what I mean? So, props to Sam Worthington for pulling off Jake Sully and bringing to life a real third dimensional character. Zoe Saldana does a great job in the Terry as she's the tour guide. You get a sense of what's going on Pandora from her, throughout the whole film, because she's schooling Jake on what he needs to do to be successful. You know what I mean? And you get a lot of what's going on in the world, and you see it in a way. For me, I saw it through the eyes of Neytiri, because she's telling him about appreciating the life that's going on around him, and telling him how to feel and how to be in touch with everything that's going on around him. So you see Pandora through her eyes. For me, that's what I got from it. I was seeing Pandora through her eyes, and how she teaches him how to interact with the animals, and how to be connected to them. So I feel like Zoe Saldana, she's another one. She brought that character to life. You know what I mean? And then when eventually when her and Jake fall in love, you see. You see it and you feel it, and you get the emotions of what's going on between these two, because once again, even though with all the stuff that's going on too, that's another layer going on in the story, that is a love story, so I enjoyed that part of it too. Stephen Lang plays a badass colonel, man. Badass colonel, man. And I like Stephen Lang as an actor, even when he did what's the movies he played the blind dude? Don't Breathe. I'll talk about Don't Breathe another time. But I liked him in those movies, but I did like him in this movie. I liked him in this movie because, he played that villain, man. He played a really good villain, man, being that hard-edged military colonel, where he's like, okay, I'm about my business. I'm about doing what I need to do. If you get in my way, you're going to get fucked up, pretty much. You know what I mean? So I liked his portrayal of the colonel. You know what I mean? So Stephen Lang did an excellent job at being the colonel, at playing the colonel. Sigourney Weaver, she plays Grace, which is one of the scientists, where she was doing a project along with Jake's brother. She plays a scientist, and she has a part in the movie where she's done all her research on the planet Pandora, and she's pretty much like an outside expert. I'm not gonna say she's an expert because she lives on the planet, but she's an outside expert in studying the science and studying the people and studying the planet. You know what I mean? So she plays her role as being the scientist that she needs to be. Michelle Rodriguez, she's in the movie as well. She plays one of the soldiers in the movie, and she's got a small role, but she gets her burn off too. Who else is in this film? I can't remember my man's name, and I can't even remember another movie he was in, and I can't even remember the name of the character that he played. But I should have looked that up, and even after watching this thing, I should have looked it up. So I dropped the ball on that. My bad, guys. I dropped the ball on that one, but he does a good job as well, and I can't even describe him because I don't even have the character's name. But for what it's worth, my man does a good job as well. Laz Lonzo is in this film, and those y'all who knows Laz Lonzo, if you've been watching The Boys from Amazon Prime, he plays Mother's Milk, so he's been in a lot of films as well, and he plays like the first lieutenant. He plays like the first lieutenant or the colonel of the native people. You know what I mean? And him and Sam Worthington, they don't get along at first. They got that beef at first, but then once Sam Worthington kind of shows shows how that he's worthy to do what he has to do, they eventually end up coming around. And then as they come around, they kind of form like a little bit of a brotherhood bond. What else is in here? I know I'm forgetting a lot. A lot of actors and actresses, but I'm kind of sticking to the main people. And Giovanni Verbinski Can't remember his character name, but he plays that that corporate sleazeball who wants to get everything that he can out of the planet. You know, so he plays it pretty well. I like the way he played his character too. Everybody did a good job in this movie, man. Everybody did a good job in this movie. And like I said too, this movie itself, and you know, I always go back to and I always go back to the director, and it's a testament to the director. You know, James Cameron, like I say, he's one of my favorite directors. He's one of my favorite directors of all time, and I don't think there's a James Cameron movie that I've seen that I haven't liked. You know what I mean? Of course, Terminator 1, Terminator 2, True Lies, Avatar. I haven't seen The Abyss. That's one movie of his I haven't seen, which I do need to check out. But and of course Titanic, which I said that in my Terminator. I think I said that in my Terminator video. That Titanic is another one of my favorite movies of all time, directed by James Cameron. And I think, honestly, for real, I want to say I might end up putting this movie up there as one of my favorite movies, man. Because like I said, man, I went back and watched it. And going back to watch it, you know, going back to watch it a couple of days ago, man, I picked up so much from it. You know what I mean? I picked up so much from it. And, you know, you go through a roller coaster ride. You know, I can truly say for a 2.5 hour movie that, you know, it was no slowdowns, man. It was no slowdowns. It was no time on the screen was wasted. You know, you can have a long, drawn out movie and it comes to a point where it's a dry point, but you know, this was one of them movies where you was like, yo, I'm enjoying every last second of this movie. You know what I mean? James Cameron is good for that, and Martin Scorsese is good for that too. Martin Scorsese would make a long ass movie, but you don't seem like you sitting in a long movie because, you know, they do what they do, man. They do what they do and make great movies that are long, but you can enjoy them. You know what I mean? So, let me get to the scale. Because I'm getting a little sleepy. I'm getting a little sleepy and I'm ready to go to bed. I'm ready to take a shower and go to bed. So let me get to the scale. On a 4 thumbs up scale, I give Avatar 4 thumbs up. I give 4 thumbs up for story. But like I said, I'm a sucker for good storytelling. I give it 4 thumbs up for story. 4 thumbs up for direction. James Cameron, you're a beast. As all the time, you're a beast. 4 thumbs up for direction. 4 thumbs up for the acting. Everybody came through and did their thing. 4 thumbs up for the score. Oh, well, wait a minute. Hold on. I can't say the score was... I don't know. I can't say it was a bad score. Because it wasn't a bad score at all. It wasn't a bad score at all. And I want to say James Horner did the movie. I want to say James Horner did the music for it. I hope he did. I think James Horner did the music for it. If he didn't do the music, my bad. But I think he did do the music for this film. But once again, like I said, the score fit the movie. The score fit the movie for a lot of the scenes. A lot of the scenes that made you feel like, you know, this is like Pandora was a wonderful place to be. You know, that score aided in it. And then at times when the score needed to be ramped up and picked up because you got a whole entire battle scene going on. You know, it did what it needed to do. You know, it did what it needed to do. And as I said too, testament to James Cameron and his filmmaking, man. James Cameron knows how to make a good damn film. He knows how to make a great film, man. So 4 thumbs up for Avatar. And I'm looking forward to going to see the second one. You know what I mean? The second one is like, I think the second one is almost like 3.5 hours. But if it's anything like the first one, which I believe it will be, then I believe those 3.5 hours will fly by like it's an hour and 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to going to see the second movie. All right. So like, comment, subscribe to this review. Let me know what you guys think of this review. If you got any comments, put some comments down in the comment section below. If I missed something, which I probably did, I think I missed a whole lot. Not a whole lot of stuff, but I missed a couple of things. But like I said, I didn't want to give up so much of the movie because I didn't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen the movie already, or who haven't seen the movie yet. So, like I said, like, comment, subscribe, keep on riding with your boy. We'll be putting out some more videos, and more than likely the next review I'm probably going to do is going to be the second Avatar, so y'all be on the lookout for that. All right, so I'm Mar Sharp. This is Short Man Filmworks, and these are the Everyday Man Film Reviews. I will see y'all on the next one. Y'all take care, and y'all have a good night.